Welcome to The Moment with me, Myf. And yes, I always feel weird saying my own name like that. Today, it's all about a telly show. Okay, there's so many TV shows. We've just had the Emmy Awards. And even I was watching it, and I'm supposed to be across everything, which normally I am. And I was watching it going, I haven't seen all of those shows yet. Or if I have, I've seen half of the series and I haven't finished them. It's like the list just goes on, and I get more and more overwhelmed. So even I have got decision fatigue at the moment. But a friend of mine came to the rescue. That friend is the beautiful Tanya Hennessy. She posted something online that was a bit of a parody of a new TV show called The Hunting Wives. And all it took was for me to see this parody.
Where we sit around, confess to murder, have a wine, and maybe go swimming.
And I was in hook, line, and sinker. Can't stop watching it. Thank you, Tanya, is all I'm going to say.
Oh, my God. I love this show. I feel like it's one of those shows that makes you go, I love the writing of this. Someone just went, should we put lesbians? Yes. Should we have murder? Yes. Should we just have a lot of nipples? Yes. Like no one said no in any of those writing rooms.
No, exactly. There are no no's in this whole show, and it covers a lot. It's got police corruption, dodgy churches, it's got politics, it's got Republicans and Democrats fighting it out for their, how they feel inside and what's a better way to live. And is that your dog? Is that Butter?
Oh, it's Butter Keith. The Butter Keith, you can go outside now. He's like, ooh. Oh. I know a dog mum when I hear one.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's one of the better shows I've seen of late. I think Malin Ackerman, who plays the lead in it, and she was huge in the 2000s. You remember she did like The Heartbreak Kid with Ben Stiller. She was in Couples Retreat. Yes. She was like the it girl of the 2000s. And now she's back sort of a little bit older, and she's playing this like, I don't know, I would call her one of the most exciting female characters that I've seen on screen in a long time.
She's incredible. And you know what? She was actually hosting Eurovision on the last Eurovision. I hosted with Joel Creasy in Malmö because she's Swedish, which you would never get from the accent. She's amazing.
She's got an American accent, and also her southern accent is excellent.
Oh, it is wild. And her character as well, Margot, she's like the head of the hunting girl clan. You've got this other character, and I guess she's the main driver. And is that Sophie? She's played.
Yeah, she's like a fish out of water come to the Texan town to be like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And that's how we get the insight into this sort of world that's already developed, which is such a smart way to go about it. And she's like, what am I doing? Why do you guys have guns? And they're like, it's real normal to have a gun here.
Yeah, I know. And the first party that she attends is a NRA party raising funds by a Republican guy who's got, aspirations to be going to the White House.
Yes.
He's got aspirations to do that. And that's the opposite of what Sophie believes in. Everything that she believes in is just right and is disintegrating in front of her eyes. But she seems to start enjoying getting involved in these activities, which is when the girl gang comes together. Margot's married to this would-be politician, and she's in charge of the girl gang. And they all get together and they do things like shooting, which, again, Sophie has no intention of getting involved in, but then gets involved in it and seems to enjoy it. What's going on there?
It's so interesting because you go, it's kind of relatable, when you're like a bit older and you're trying to find a friend group, especially when you've moved town because of, some things that she's done in her past that she's running from. They always catch up to you. Yeah. And she's like, I've found these women, and it's a bit mean girlsy, and they're like, we don't do this, and we have guns, and we do this, and la la la. And she's sort of like, okay, I'm just going to follow the rules because she's very in love with Margot. And it's sort of like, I don't know, when you are older, you do have the capacity to go, nah, like that's cooked, I'm not going to do that. But when you're in a town where everyone does that, would you shoot a pig? I just don't think I could. I don't know. Like Like I just would never, but it's an interesting scenario she finds herself in. And also like I love conversations around friendships. Yeah, I really want to write a TV show about friendship and, you know, even like groups of 3 when you're older, how interesting that dynamic is. Groups of 5 when you're older. Do you have less friends? Do you have more friends? Is it harder to find friends? I just think it's a really interesting topic.
And also too, do you hang out because you are like-minded or do you hang out because you want to learn? And it seems like this gang have hung out because they're all like-minded. They follow the same sort of political ideals, and yet they're so corruptible, all of them, and they're so badly behaved, all of them.
The lead detective's wife is in the hunting wives club as well, which is muddies the water as well about like who knows what in small towns, and should you, I don't know, be commenting on stuff that's going on internally in the police department with your friend group. Well, anyway, it's really clever, and every character is really well written, and we need a season 2 immediately. It's the #1 show on Netflix. It's killing it in Australia. It's on Stan, and it's slaying on Stan.
Yeah, it's look, I'm again just eternally grateful for you for showing this to me. It's really interesting though. I was thinking about that trad wife movement, and one of the first questions that comes up in the first episode. I'm only 2 episodes in at this point, and I'm desperate for more. But when Sophie asks the girl gang what they all do for work, and they go, "We don't work,
we wife,"
and it's wild. And I'm thinking like that's such an awful cultural place to be in at the moment, that we're going back to those ideals, and yet at least on the surface they make it look pretty sweet. Even I kind of went, am I corruptible here? You know, are my morals, are my ideals corruptible here? Because their life looks, you know, pretty nice on the surface, but as we find out, it's pretty bad. But I was wondering, why is it so difficult for us as storytellers and as writers to put that old trope of, you know, mischievous wives, you know, like there's so many wives shows everywhere, and they're very traditional wives roles. Why can't we put it to bed? Why is even someone like me, who's pretty staunch feminist, obsessed?
Yeah, me too.
Obsessed.
And you know what's so funny? Back in the day when Desperate Housewives came out, I didn't watch it. It was not for me. I don't know. I was at high school. It just didn't get me. I wasn't very interested in it. And I went back and watched the first 5 episodes to be like, oh, what is this show? You know, like everyone was about it in 2003. And I thought, yeah, 2025 feels like a time to really watch that current show. And I didn't actually enjoy it. It didn't hit for me. And I think it's definitely of its time. But I think in this instance, people want to be a voyeur. You know, that's why we have, you know, all of the housewives in terms of like Beverly Hills and London and Dubai. Do you think people just want to have this voyeuristic thing? And I saw on TikTok the other day there was this comment that said, it was like, you know, stop telling women they can have everything. We don't want to have everything. Some of us just want to relax. I was like, that's true. Like, you know, I don't want to do everything. I just do want to have a sit after, you know, like I mean, I'm writing a TV show at the moment, and I'll tell you there's no trope of housewife at all, if that's of any interest.
Oh, goodness me. Well, look, I think it works, but surely we must be coming to the end of it with this. This has also overtones of classic soap opera as well, like Dynasty and Dallas. Like there's a lot of wig work on the show. Main character has thick wig work. Like and that's why I didn't recognize her at first. I was like, oh my God, that's her. Like, it's really quite over the top and quite ridiculous, and I love that too. We just need a bit of escapism, which sounds very privileged to say at this moment in history, I've got to say, but it's nice to be able to sit down and watch something that's just utterly ridiculous and quite escapist when, it's everything else seems so bleak.
The world is on fire, and I think one thing that I always like to say is that I like to consume what I like to call wine content. So if I'm on the internet, if I'm on TV, or whatever I'm consuming, concerts, whatever, I want to consume wine. It needs to like be fast, good, and make you have a little bit of a tiz about it, because otherwise I can't hold much more. You know, the world is sad, and it's like nice to just go, wow, in this community, this is what's happening, and I can dip in and out of it, and it's not so weighted that it's going to like steal my existence.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a bit raunchy too, which I've got to say, I'm not normally a fan of raunchy TV. I find it all a bit awkward and uncomfortable. But it kind of feels right in this. And I don't know if that means I'm changing my ways because I'm a middle-aged lady who probably doesn't even think about that stuff anymore because I can't be bothered.
No, same. But I do think, because I study television, I love television, I think it's because it's congruent with the character. So like Margot, we kind of go, who is she? What is she? She, and as you continue to watch, you find out her backstory and why she uses sex and how she uses it to manipulate. And, so it's sort of like that character, it makes sense for her to be sort of sexual because it's her control and her way of getting things and her communication, and it makes sense. It's not there for no reason. I think that's why it kind of works. It's correctly used.
Yeah. And you end up empathising with the gun-toting Republican vote and, criminal. They're all criminals. They're all corrupt and criminals. And it's interesting because that parallel to me when I was watching it going, does this normalise all this corrupt behaviour? Is this show contributing to that? Because in a way what that does is then normalise what's already existing in parallel in the White House at the moment, someone who is has been charged with criminal offences and corruption, and like it seems like a real moment in that respect.
Oh, definitely. It hits on a lot of things, especially they're talking about, even just gun laws straight up the top as well. And it's like, oh, okay. But also, do you ever just go, I can't, you're so smart and cerebral, but sometimes I just go, I can't dip in. I've just got to see it as a story and I can't look too deep into it. Sometimes I just can't. Sometimes your brain can't help it.
Yeah. Yeah, mine was going all over the place for a show that's supposed to be a bit of escapism, which I loved, and full of raunch and, bad behaviour and everything. I was actually going, shit, this is actually really capturing the zeitgeist at the moment of where America is at, that whole red state, blue state thing and corruption within the organisations that we've previously put faith into, i.e., politics or parliament or the law. And I thought this is quite a parallel in a very enjoyable way. So maybe it might get through in another way to the people it needs to. I'm not sure.
Yes, but do you think it's for them or for the left? Like
that's what I can't work out. And that's why I was so confused by it. I think it's genius. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who it's for.
I know. I don't know either. And I think it's really genius too. And that's,
you never know. I don't know. I haven't finished the series, so I don't know who it's for. Do you know?
Well, I don't know. And then it gets more interesting as it continues, and then you really get into the conversation around drugs and violence and domestic situations. Like, it's very dense. Whoever wrote this is, I think, a really clever writer, really clever writing team.
Well, they threw everything at it and it stuck, and again, quite genius. This week on The Moment, we are partnered with LifeChanger. Now, LifeChanger is an incredible organisation that works in the mental health space, in particular with young people, but also works with teachers and parents. And Scott Waters joins me now to tell us all about LifeChanger.
Good morning, Myf. How are you?
I'm good. Scott, how do you do that? How do you give them the tools? Do you go through schools? Do you run programs? What happens?
We worked with 141,000 young people last year in Australia and New Zealand, and that's a combination of our interactive workshops where our facilitators are amazing at building rapport with young people. So they come in and run interactive workshops with kids from 10 to 18 years of age. We also support teachers. There's about 220,000 teachers in Australia. The number one thing that they really wanted in classrooms was the capacity to deliver youth mental health content that supports people. So we've got downloadable lessons that they now run. They run LifeChanger workshops. And then the final one that we've just got to last September, we had the Parent Connection Kit, really simple, parent language. What conversation do you want to have at the dinner table or in the car, or what activities can you use at home to just keep that connection humming along?
Thank you so much, Scott, for taking a moment with me to explain all about LifeChanger. Now, if you'd like to partner up with me here on The Moment, then we are open to any kind of conversation. All the contact details will be in the show notes if you can find them. I can never find the show notes, but we'd love to partner with you. Come on board. Tanya Hennessy, thank you. You gave this to me. I needed it. I needed it right now.
Well, I know, when you're just like in between TV shows and you're like, I desperately need a good one. I can't do like 20 minutes of nonsense to bail on it.
Nah, no way. And there's just so much 20 minutes of nonsense these days.
And there's so much stuff as well. And it all becomes very like, especially when you're watching procedural stuff, like if you're watching a lot of crime, if you're watching a lot of romance, whatever you're watching, drama, it's also, we start to see the structure and it becomes less fun when you're like, oh, I'm seeing the structure and I can see the setup and I know how this, it's so boring. So I feel like this really breaks the boredom of storytelling for television in a drama because of, well, it's almost like comedy and farcical and over the top. And I think that's why it's sort of cut through, because it is almost Love Island if Love Island was set in Nashville and there was guns.
Oh, yes. And you know what I think too? I've spoken to a couple of script writers and screenwriters and they all say the stuff that happens on reality TV, you could never script because people say that characters would never do that. But in actual fact, on reality TV, they go over and above. And we're so used to that now, like these ridiculous storylines and people doing outrageous things, because on reality TV, you want camera time. And that's how you stay on the show. So the storylines have got wilder and crazier. So maybe this is also in response to that proof that you can script absolute bonkers stuff, throw it all at the wall and it still works. Yeah.
Actually, here's a question for you, because you and I met on a reality show.
We did.
We might not ever do a reality show again between us, but you do find that, don't you, the difference between people who know how to play and exist in a reality format and people who are like, oh, I create and exist and make stuff as opposed to just existing and things happening to me. Because Charlotte Crosby, I remember being like, this woman knows a reality show.
Charlotte from Geordie Shore, she had a lifetime of experience prior to coming up. And you just watch her work and she was one of the best operators I've ever seen. Absolute best. And genuine too. Yes, she was herself.
Yeah, I'm like, but I can't do that. Like, I was always like, wow, this girl is amazing. I'm still a fan of hers to this day. Like,
me too.
Fierce and authentic and very kind. She's very kind and patient. And I was like, but to be those things and to be a reality star is kind of a difficult idiom, and she manages to do it.
She was one of the first who really made it work for her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because now you really have to be kind of audacious and insane.
Yeah, it's tipped over now to a totally different world, but yeah, she was one of the first and one of the best still. So we were lucky. We learned from the best.
We did. Would you do a reality show again? I said you probably wouldn't at the top, but do you think you would?
I don't know. I mean, look, to be honest, I met people I would never have met, like yourself, and had a great time just actually being away from my phone, learning about myself a bit more. I don't know. I think I enjoyed that part of it, but that's not really why you go and do it, to find out about yourself. You do it for the show, but I don't know. I don't know if I'd have the patience anymore or the tolerance. I'm a bit old.
Yeah, and you get bored in there. Like, all you want to do is like read a book, and they're like, no, have a fight with someone.
Yeah, go and have a fight over socks. Who was that? Charlotte? Because
was me.
Oh, was that you? Because you get frustrated over the littlest things because there's nothing else to focus on. And if someone takes your freaking socks, that is a reason to have an argument. And I was totally behind you.
Oh, yes. And it's so funny because those moments, because people will always talk to me about that. They're like, oh, you lost your mind over those socks. I was like, oh, I wish I hadn't have. But in those circumstances also, there was a lot of stuff led up to that, which was edited out, which is like, but like, it is what it is. That's why you do these things. But I think the only other reality show I'd want to do is Dancing with the Stars, because I really think it would be fun.
Yeah, everyone says it's not.
No.
They all say it's really painful and grueling and full on. But again, they all love it. So you come out of it, it's almost like you have this traumatic experience where you push to your absolute limits, but then you come out, it's almost like Stockholm syndrome. You're so groomed by it that you actually end up loving it, or you just trauma bond with your other contestants, I think. We're all going to have to go to a lot of therapy down the track.
I did a lot of therapy when I came out of the jungle. I felt very like, oh, what the fuck was that? Like, Did you, or were you good?
Oh, yeah, heaps.
Yeah,
Heaps.
great. That makes me
But
feel
we also
good.
went into lockdown, so, we kind of had to. We were locked in again. The whole thing was just bonkers. Yeah.
Bonkers is right. Like, so weird.
Yeah.
So weird.
Yep. But I'm so glad I got to do it with you, Tan. And
Oh, me too. I was like, you're my saving grace. And I remember the day I left, the episode was like you talking about some, huge, I think it was you, who sung Islands in the Stream. What was his name?
Oh, Kenny and Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers.
Kenny Rogers. And I was like, damn it, I missed that frigging conversation.
Oh, look, there'll be plenty more over the years. We'll get to do it again. But you're amazing. Thank you. And thank you for this show.
Yeah. You say like I created it. I'm like, you're welcome. It took us years, and we really studied the South. And I'm a huge.
I don't know. No, I genuinely think though you hear it from so many places. Oh, this is the best thing ever, and now I'm almost numb to those things. And because you presented it in such a way that made me go, oh, I'm going to watch the shit out of that. Yes. I don't know. It felt like it was something I would want to get into, as opposed to, I should.
See, I will only ever talk about stuff I genuinely like because I don't want to waste people's time. Because I'm the same. I'm like, give me a good show. Don't tell me about the chaff. Show me the good shit. And I watch so much television. I am desperate to do more television writing because it's amazing. But the thing is, Myf, I'm so addicted to short form content like radio, socials. It's really hard for my brain to sit down and do long form, which is television.
Well, you know that TikTok is hoping for more long form stories, as in fiction. And a lot of actors in America are actually signing up for these series. You know, it's the beginning of a whole new genre, essentially. So,
network television is so different now. Like back in the day when you used to write TV, you'd have to, structure all the hooks, for what's coming up around the ad break. Every 20 minutes you'd have like a hook for the ads. We don't have that with streaming. You can just push all the way through. It's really interesting to see that TikTok is now doing sort of longer narrative form because people still crave it and still want it, which makes you feel like good,
Yeah, that's the human part. We still love stories. We still love it. It's not going away.
Yeah, exactly, which is exciting. And also it's cool to see more comedians and more traditional media people using socials. I'm like, tell me what you do in your backyard. Show me.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Tanya. You're the best.
You're the best. Thank you so much for having me.
Love you. Mwah.
Love you. Bye.
Bye. Well, that's it for today's episode of The Moment. Thank you, Tanya Hennessy. As always, welcome back on The Moment anytime with any kind of television recommendation. I trust you. And as for you listening or watching on YouTube, let me know what you think of The Hunting Wives in the comments. Or guess what? You can send me an email. We have an email address. It's my name, Myf, M for Mary, Y for yes, F for Fred, @mik.studio. It'll be in the show notes if you can find the show notes. Send away. It's all about open communication here, and you can always message me on the socials. Don't forget to follow wherever you're listening. If you are new here, that'd be great. And if you're not new here, can you tell your friends so I can keep doing this? That would be amazing. Thank you. Love you. Have a great week. This is an MIK made production recorded on Wurundjeri land. Always was and always will be Aboriginal land.